So did you know that Disney used to have a cell phone network? And more than that, had custom branded phones to use on that network? Yeah, I didn't either, but when I discovered its existence and found some of these devices for sale online, you know I had to buy one. And by one, I mean 4. So thanks to Linode for sponsoring this episode. Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Yes, today we're going to be diving into the world of Disney Mobile, the short-lived attempt for Disney to take over the world of mobile communication, at least here in the US. And you can probably tell that these devices aren't from the US, and I'll explain that in a minute. But first, a little history. It all started back in the mid-2000s when Disney decided to take advantage of the rapidly growing cell phone market. They felt they could successfully market cell phones to kids and, by connection, their parents. Disney Mobile was designed to be family-oriented. Parental control functionality was built in, which enabled parents to limit usage, send priority messages that would display right when opening the phone, and even track the phone's physical location. And there were 2 parts of Disney Mobile: the cell phones themselves, which were far less exciting than these Japanese models here. They were pretty much generic-looking flip phones with a Disney logo slapped on, and of course some special software. The other part was the carrier. In a partnership with Sprint, Disney actually became a mobile virtual network operator, or MVNO. Put simply, this is a carrier of sorts that doesn't actually have any physical network infrastructure, but instead leases it from one of the major carriers, in this case Sprint. Now there's a ton of these companies around today, and there's a good chance that some of you watching have cellular service with them. But anyways, Disney Mobile lasted for a whopping 18 months before it was killed off at the end of 2007. However, it wasn't going to go away that easily, because around a year later, Disney announced that they were going to try the same thing all over again, but this time in Japan. Okay, in fairness, it wasn't really the same thing at all. Yes, it was an MVNO, this time using SoftBank's infrastructure, and yes, there were Disney-branded phones made available. The difference was the target audience, because you see in Japan, Disney is actually pretty popular among young adults, especially women between 20 and 30 years old. Now, Disney did not manufacture these phones, they were typically rebadged versions of existing models, but noticeably more Disneyfied than what we got here in the US, and let me just show you what I'm talking about. So this right here is the very first Disney Mobile handset that was released in Japan. It's known as the DM001SH. It's manufactured by Sharp, and it is a rebadged version of the 820SH, just with a bunch of Disneyfication going on. So the box here, you've got a nice outer sleeve with the Mickey Mouse emblem on it all around the thing. You can see on the back here. And as you take this off, you see this little cutout here slowly changes to basically Mickey and Minnie Mouse meeting, and then they fall in love. Oh, isn't that nice? So yeah, that's what's depicted here. So yeah, this is the inner piece, the inner part of the packaging. You fold it out here, you've got the phone over here, we'll get to that in a moment. And then over here you have a bunch of reading material, manuals, and all sorts of other inserts. So we'll go ahead and just set this aside and go through this very briefly. This right here is advertising the Disney Card Club, which was a thing in Japan, so there's a card advertising that. Oh, isn't that fitting? And yeah, I'm gonna have to pull out Google Translate for the rest of this stuff here, because as I always say in these videos, I do not speak or read Japanese. So this looks to be the warranty card, which gives you some information about the phone's warranty and what it covers. And you're apparently supposed to write your name and telephone number in here, and then the date of purchase. And then this right here is apparently a stamp from the store that it was purchased at. And I'm trying to figure out this here, because this looks like a date code to me, the 21st of November 2022, which seems, I mean, there's no way this thing was sitting in this box for that long and it was just purchased. I don't know, maybe it was, but maybe I'm just reading that wrong. Again, I do not speak Japanese, so, you know, I just have to go by Google Translate, which of course is not a 100% accurate translation. This right here looks like it's talking about, this is a SoftBank thing. Oh, it's talking about a service, S Music Connect and S Loop Notice of Service Termination. It will end on March 31st, 2009. So this was apparently a service that they were discontinuing. Right here you have the service guide. All of this stuff is in incredibly great condition, very typical for Japanese stuff, of course, because they tend to take much better care of their things than than we do here in the US. So in here we can get some snippets of the user interface, which is nice actually, because unfortunately I cannot power this phone on. In fact, out of all these phones that I've purchased, only one of them, or technically two of them, but they're the same model, I'll get to that in a minute, only one of these models actually works. Which I know is unfortunate, but at least we can take a look at one of them. And trust me, I try to get these things working, but I think there's something wrong with them. And look, there's Pluto, so you've got Disney characters just kind of scattered around in here. That's really nice. My Disney Mobile, okay, it's talking about the My Disney Mobile page, I would assume. And yeah, so there you go. Right here you have a, oh, this is like an envelope. Oh, check this out. What is this? Oh, look at that. They're like postcards. In fact, yeah, it says postcard right up there, so that's pretty cool. So a nice little extra thing that you get included in here. And then all this stuff is wrapped in this packaging here, in this little sleeve. Looks like there's a CD in here as well. This is looking like it's an operations guide. I could be wrong about that, but that's the best I can get from Google Translate. And yeah, you got your contents here. You've got, okay, so it is telling you about the button, the center button on the phone here. At least I think that's what that is. So that is a good sign. You've got the charger here telling you how to like plug the phone in. You've got, what's this back here? Music and movies, digital TV, internet. Right here is the first step guide, emergency numbers, customer service, use English interface. That's definitely, well, it would be useful if we could actually power the thing on. Now this right here, I did not even notice was in here because I didn't really open this thing entirely. I just like checked to make sure that, you know, the phone was in here and stuff off camera, but I did not really go through this stuff in detail. But yeah, this right here is the utility software for, you know, using this with your computer, which is pretty nice. It comes in a sleeve here. Right here you have what looks like some sort of regulatory stuff. This is talking about, we will get to this in a moment. I'm not going to spoil that for you, but if you know about Japanese TV, you might know what this is. We'll talk about that in a moment. And this right here is the full user's guide. But yeah, there's all of the not super exciting reading material that I do just like to go through. I know not everybody likes me to go through it, but you know, I do think it's nice just to kind of give you guys the full like picture of what came with these devices when we look at them. So yeah, here is the phone itself. We will fold this back up and we'll set the box aside and we'll take a look at what we got here. So the phone comes with, you know, the phone, its battery, and the battery cover, and we can just take this out here. Now, the reason why I cannot get this thing to power on is the battery is bloated. I don't know how well you can see that, but yeah, this thing is bloated. It does not hold a charge, and I cannot power it on. And if you notice, one thing that is not in this package is the charger. I did not have a charger for this, and it does not use any sort of like micro USB anything. This right here, if I haven't already mentioned it, is not an Android phone, because this actually predates the public release of Android by a little bit. So yeah, this thing does not run Android. It runs its own custom UI, probably something Java based if I had to guess. And yeah, so you know, we can take a look at the inside of the phone here. It is a flip phone, and the thing looks like it's never been used before. I mean, it still has, which might explain that date on the slip in there, which again seems crazy if this thing was actually like unused for, you know, however many years that it's been sitting in this package. It does kind of explain why the battery is bloated. But yeah, so there you go. You got a nice sticker there on the screen. And if you see on the circular pad here, you've got the Mickey emblem right there. So yeah, that's one of the ways that they modified this and kind of Disneyfied it. And of course on the top here, you've got the Disney Mickey Mouse emblem as well, just all around. This phone came in 3 colors. This is shiny silver. You also had sparkle pink and glitter gold. So yeah, very Disney named colors as well. Yeah, I'm like just realizing this thing might actually be like new old stock. That is crazy. So yeah, anyways, so you know, I wasn't able to power the thing on, which sucks. So I said, let me go out and try to find the charger for this. So I did. I purchased the charger, imported it from Japan. It cost me 3 times the amount of the thing, what I paid for it to get it shipped here. And then guess what? I plugged the thing in. It doesn't work. It doesn't power on, both with and without the battery installed. So I was thinking that, okay, maybe it needs to have a working battery in the phone for the charger to actually work. Maybe it can't be powered directly from the wall. So I went ahead and tried to purchase a replacement battery for this thing, and I couldn't because of a supposed import restriction on importing batteries. What is odd about that is there was no problem getting the phone here with the battery, because this shipped with the phone. It was declared on the customs label that it had a battery in it, and there was no problem with that. Now, I tried a few different proxy services to get a replacement battery shipped to me, and what was interesting is some of the listings on Yahoo Auctions Japan through these proxy services were marked as prohibited items, but other listings that were selling the same exact thing were not. And so I was able to purchase the item through those listings, but then once the battery got to the shipping proxy services warehouse and they realized what it was, they then emailed me and said, "Oh, we can't ship this to you. We have to refund you. Sorry about that." So I don't know if it's like the battery has to be combined with a phone or with something else and then it's okay, which obviously, I mean, it was, or maybe it's not. Maybe I wasn't supposed to get any of these phones. I don't know, but it was declared on the customs label as having a battery in it, and there was no problem, but for some reason shipping the battery by itself was an issue. So anyways, rambling aside, the result is, unfortunately, I can't power this thing on, so we just kind of have to like look at it in all of its glory here. I mean, yes, it is just a rebadged Disneyfied Sharp phone, but I think they did a pretty nice job, and it's definitely a lot more appealing to look at than those generic looking US models that we got for Disney Mobile here. But yeah, so this is it. And this was the first Disney Mobile phone released in Japan. Let's go ahead and talk about this model right here, because this is the other one that I cannot power on. This is one of the first, not the first, but one of the first Disney Mobile Android smartphones. This thing runs Android 2.3, and it comes to us from the year 2011, and it is another rebadged Sharp phone. So it is a touchscreen Android phone. You see at the top here, you've got the Disney Mobile branding, but it's also a slider phone. So it's got a flip out keyboard here. You've got, again, that Disney emblem on the center button there. And you can see the screen is cracked, which sucks. But what sucks even more is, you know, I can't power this one on either. It does charge over micro USB, so I was able just to plug this into a wall adapter that I already had. But, you know, it doesn't power on. The battery in it seems to be fine. It's not bloated or anything, but I can't get it to power on with or without the battery installed, so I think there's just something wrong with the phone. Most of these phones, I mean, I got 4 of these, but most of them were kind of just sold as untested. I mainly just got them for the hardware itself, just to demonstrate it for you here, but luckily, I do have a model that does power on. Before we get to that, though, I think it's about time we talk more about today's video sponsor, Linode, who has continued to provide funding for our Japan-related technology adventures on this channel. And they can provide you with the tools you need to scale and deploy applications big and small. That's because for the past 2 decades, they've been making cloud computing affordable, accessible, and simple. With their Linux-based virtual machines, you can host just about anything, because if it runs on Linux, it runs on Linode. And thanks to their predictable, no lock-in pricing, you'll know exactly what you pay every month. And if your hosting needs increase, you can easily up your plan to a higher tier in just a few clicks. By the end of this year, Linode plans to add at least a dozen more data centers around the world, all equipped with enterprise-level capabilities like object storage, load balancers, and Kubernetes. And as a thank you for watching this video, if you sign up for a new Linode account through my link in the video description, you'll get a free 60-day $100 credit to give them a test drive. So whether you're looking to change providers, or if you're a newcomer to cloud computing, be sure to check them out, and huge thanks again to Linode for making this episode possible. We have to take a look at this box right here, which doesn't even have a phone in it. I just bought it because of the design of the box, and also for one of the accessories in here that I thought was kind of interesting. First, the design. I mean, this just looks kind of terrifying. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, if I saw this sitting on a shelf in a phone store, I just wouldn't know how to feel. In all fairness, this is the back of the box, okay? So this is the front here, which looks a lot more appealing, but like just having Mickey like teleporting through the box and like jumping out at you, I don't know. I don't know how that makes me feel, but whatever. So this is the SH05F in silky white. This is when Disney also changed carrier partners, I believe, from SoftBank to Docomo, or Docomo, however you pronounce it. So let's open it up and see everything inside but the phone, because that's That's what we have in here. So right here, you've got a little like thing that tells you about some stuff. It looks like some apps and some Disney games and whatnot. Yeah, so there you go. Again, it's like it's laid in here like this, not like this. They have it laid in like, and then we take this off here, and we've got, this is, okay, these are all the like, you know, reading pamphlets and stuff, the manual and whatnot. But then check this out here, okay? This is what I bought this listing for. And it looks like this is brand new actually, or at least it was just put back in the little packaging sleeve. But yeah, so this right here, you know, it looks like a mirror, right? Which, I mean, it is, you know, there's my hand. It is a mirror, but you flip it over to the back and you've got like Mickey's, like the bottom half of his body is like holding, he's like been cut in half and he's holding he's holding up the mirror. And it also, you know, works as a phone stand as well. But like, I don't know, I just found this and I was like, again, I just don't really know how to feel about that. Like they just cut Mickey in half and use them as like a, you know, prop for holding up a giant slab that is a mirror and a phone stand. So yeah, that's what I bought that for. I just had to show it to you. I don't know really how to feel about that. But anyways, okay. This here is the F-08D. It's another Android phone from 2012, and it was manufactured by Fujitsu. We've got the phone here, or both of them. We've got the pink model and the white model. These are identical other than just the color. And we also have a nice stand here, which fortunately is not as horrifying as the last one. So yeah, you know, it holds the phone right in there, and I think it doubles as a charger as well. Yes, it does that through these contacts on the back here, which line up with those contacts in there, which pop out when you press the phone down on that. So yeah, it's a nice charging stand as well. Let's go ahead and power on the phone here. We'll just use the pink model, and there it is. It's starting up. You've got the Docomo branding there, and yeah, so, you know, it looks kind of like a typical Android phone from 2012. Of course, just with Disney branding. This is not a flip out or slider phone of any kind. It is strictly a touchscreen phone. Actually, this is the phone that I did not change over to English. It is in Japanese. The other model here, I was able to go into the settings and swap everything over to English, which is going to make taking a look at the software much easier. So yeah, we'll just power this one on here. Now, I should say the translation on some of this stuff is not entirely accurate, like setting my body. Yes, I definitely want to do that. But this is the like getting started screen, which I have set to start up every time that the phone starts up. It just asks you to log into your Google account and get set up and all that. But we can hit the home button there to go to the home screen. And so yeah, you've got the Mickey clock. Again, Disney here really big on their branding. So you've got a Mickey Mouse style clock. You've got the background there, which you know, matches with the packaging here, with the ribbon forming the Mickey Mouse emblem. And yeah, so, you know, I actually don't know which version of Android this is currently running. Again, it's shipped with, actually, I don't even have it written down. What version of Android does this have? Let's go into settings here and find out. So we'll hop down to settings. We'll scroll down to About Phone. And let's see, Android version 2.3.5. So there you go. And while we're in settings, let me just connect this thing to my Wi-Fi network. That way we can actually use some of the applications that require network connectivity. Hooray, we're online. So we can take a look at some of these applications. There are a few Docomo and Disney branded stuff. You know, Docomo being the carrier. You've got a bunch of carrier apps in here. But this is the Disney category. So let's see what this one is. It was giving me a message about having to be on Wi-Fi before. So now that we're on Wi-Fi, perhaps it will do something. An error has occurred, please try again. So perhaps this was trying to reach out to the network for, I don't know, something, and maybe that server is non-existent anymore, because we get that same message every single time we start it up. But yeah, this right here looks like a media player. This is asking me if I'd like to update it to the latest version. Let's say cancel. Okay, maybe we have to. Okay. There is a problem parsing the package. That's not good. Alright, well, that's unfortunate. Disney weather. Can we at least look at the weather? I kind of want to see how Disney did this. Oh no, we got that same error message. Yeah, that's the same one with the same error code, BA-026, that we got on the first app here. So, I'm guessing that the servers that hosted all the content for some. Let's hope not all of these apps, but maybe all of them are just not even going to work anymore. Does the same thing, parse error. Gosh, that is annoying. I think this is the camera application, so maybe this one will. No, it does the same thing, but doesn't that say camera? It says Disney Photos, so perhaps it's like reaching out to a Disney service to like download photos or something like that. And this is the Disney Markets, which I think is also complaining about a server error. A communication error has occurred. Lovely. So, yeah, unfortunately, we can't actually take a look at any of the Disney apps in here, which sucks. But yeah, with it being an Android phone, you've got your typical Google stuff in here. If we scroll over to the basic category, so you've got Gmail, Google Search, Google Talk even. Gosh, that really dates this. You've got the Android Market, which will probably yell at us to log in. No, I don't want to log into the Google account. And yeah, so we can go to Google Search here, and I don't know, maybe try to, oh yeah, we got to navigate using this keyboard. There was a way when I was entering my Wi-Fi password, I could change it to like a QWERTY keyboard layout, but that option is not here because like that's not it. This doesn't, no, that's not it. Ooh, yeah, this is kind of, I mean, we can switch to there and then go, oh, I entered that in by mistake. So I can search for my YouTube channel here, and yeah, it can kind of display the page at least. Let's try to go to Twitter. It's probably going to have problems loading this. Yep, got a data connectivity problem. A secure connection cannot be established. I'm sure it's probably with the HTTPS. But yeah, web browsing on a 10-plus-year-old phone. I mean, what can you expect? So yeah, you've got, a bunch of apps in here, a bunch of carrier stuff, as I already mentioned. And the really cool thing, and the thing that I started to mention earlier, but I decided to just save for later on in the video, is the TV app. Now you say, wait a second, TV? Do you mean like, you can stream TV? No. No, we're not talking about streaming TV over the network, not at all. Because my friends, you know what these phones have built into them? They've got, check this out. That's right, we've got an aerial antenna built right into the phone. And it spins! Look at this! Go Gadget Copter! This is just the gift that keeps on giving. Yeah, total Ashens moment. That was immediately when because I saw in the listing, this is what I saw. For like the first photo, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to buy this just because of that. That is so freaking hilarious that there was actually a TV antenna built into the phone. And I know before the one guy's gonna completely take the piss out of it in the comments and go, well, actually, the reason why I'm getting to that, just give me a moment, okay, please. Yes, the reason why that these phones have antennas, and I do mean these phones because all of them, like this model right here, we've got the antenna right here on the side, so you can pop this out if I can actually pop it out. There we go. So you've got an antenna here. It folds right in and nicely goes into the phone. And even on this one, it's actually done a lot nicer on this one because it kind of looks like a port cover. But no, this is the antenna. So you just take it off there, pull it out, and there you go. You can you can get a TV signal and watch TV right on your phone, which I think is pretty awesome. Now, this is made possible because of the way that Japan's television broadcasting system works. Now, I'm going to summarize this as quickly as I can here because I could probably do a whole dedicated video on it because I do find this rather fascinating. But Japan and a few other countries, the way they transmit TV signals is they divide each channel into 13 segments. And a standard HD TV broadcast utilizes 12 of those segments, leaving one free. And that one segment is used to broadcast a special signal intended specifically for mobile devices, and it's known as the one-seg signal. These are one-seg antennas on these phones. And you won't just find these antennas on mobile phones. You can watch TV on your PSP or even your Nintendo DS if you have the antenna accessory that was sold as an official accessory by Nintendo and Sony. Now, it's not the highest picture quality. You could probably guess that. This is QGA 320 by 240 resolution, but it works. And you could just, go to wherever you pick up a good signal, pop out your antenna, which let me do that here. You got to pop out the antenna, get it set up. And obviously it goes without saying that there are far better ways to consume content on mobile devices these days, but I just find this like really cool. I mean, because back when these phones were brand new, I mean, this was a way of consuming content, watching TV on your mobile device. Yes, it looks absolutely hilarious that it has a freaking TV antenna, but there was a practical reason for it. And the really cool thing is I found this video from another YouTuber where he demoed in 2 separate videos the PSP and the Nintendo DS Wansegu antennas. And apparently he got some comments from people that said they still use these things in the modern day to watch TV in that glorious 320 by 240 resolution at like 15 frames per second. So it sounds like these signals are still broadcasted today, which if I ever go to Japan, you bet I'm bringing one of these phones along with me, and we're going to try that out on a video, because that would be pretty cool to just to demonstrate. So yeah, that is my favorite part of these phones, hands down. But let's maybe take a look at some of the widgets on here. I've not really gone into this. Let's see if we have any Disney stuff. So we've got Disney weather. Oh, that's the clock. Okay, let's do the weather one here. It's telling us that we have to set the region, but when we do that, it gives us the same error message. So yeah, I assume that these widgets are probably not going to really work. And I wonder if there are like some wallpapers or anything. Let's see if we've got any other wallpapers in here. Let's go to the gallery. There are no items in your collection. Okay, how about... We got the gallery and the wallpaper gallery, as well as live wallpapers and wallpapers. Let's go to wallpapers. Okay, so here's the Disney ones. Yeah, you got a few of them here. Pretty nice looking. There's the one we already have applied. And then these just look like standard photos that probably came with the non-Disney branded version of this phone. So we can maybe set it to, let's go with this one here. Let's see what's under live wallpapers. Oh, so you do have some Disney ones. You've got Disney Electrical Light Parade and Disney Pink Glitter. Let's get the Disney Electrical Light Parade going on. Oh, that's really cool. Look at that. Oh, and it changes as you like go. Oh yeah, you're changing your like perspective as you go around. That's really cool. Look at that. But let's apply the other one. Definitely not as exciting as the other one, at least in my opinion, but it is a nice animated wallpaper. There we go. So there's that one. And are there any other wallpapers? Let's see. Live wallpapers. Galaxy. These are just kind of generic ones that are not Disney branded. And what was the last category? Wallpaper gallery. Which we've got a whole nother list of wallpapers in here too. So there you go. Oh, and look at that as you... Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, you got some nice effects going on here. Yeah, there you have it, guys. That is, or those are, I should say, the 4 Disney phones that I purchased from Japan. Definitely some cool stuff. Like I said, it does suck that we can't power these 2 devices on. I would have loved to take a look at the software on them. But perhaps if I ever make it to Japan one day, maybe I could try to source a battery for one of these things, or find a, similar model of battery here in the US to get, and see if maybe the phone does indeed work, but it just needs a battery in it, while it's plugged in for it to work. But yeah, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up, get subscribed, all that good stuff. And as always, I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.